We be alive. Hello, Durud and Shalom, and hola.
Hola, hola. How you doing?
Good, good. Guys, Sid and Guy are not here today, but they will be here soon. Sid will be here tomorrow, but I don't know when Guy is going to be here. Guy, is it Shabbat? I think that's why he's not here, right? Is it Shabbat? No, no, it's some other reason. But they will both be here soon, so don't worry. We didn't. They haven't abandoned us. Okay. Uh, Today is an important day, and even though Monkey and I will try to do our best to fill in their shoes, okay? Because today is actually a very important day because we got the full confirmation of Monkey. You know how we have been saying that it seems like the strategy of United States is going to be neither escalation or a deal. They're just going to keep the economic pressure on the Islamic Republic, and they're just going to double down because it's working. To I mean, yesterday and today we got confirmation that they're going to do that. Like this is what the main focus is going to be because the results are really good. Like not from an Iranian people perspective, the Iranian people are going to suffer a lot, but when it comes to America and being able to achieve the most with the least amount of political and financial costs, this is working. What do you think?
Look, I think they've achieved economically what I said before about stopping every single ship across that strait. Like if they're putting economic sanctions on anybody that sends its ship to those harbors, that's the same plan I was talking about. Like you can either shoot those ships or you can like sanction anybody that goes there. If that's what's going on, that's like a double blockade because you have an economic blockade on any nation in the Gulf states that sends ships there. Plus, you have it go across banks, go across commerce, go across everything. I wanted to do it with missiles, but this might be like even more effective.
So that they're not doing that. The blockade, the American blockade, is at the Gulf of Oman. The way that they're stopping the trade between the southern and northern part of the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman and the Strait of Hormuz is by putting pressure on the countries in the southern part to stop trade with the Islamic Republic and the
That's what I just said.
UAE basically. Okay, yeah, I didn't negate what you were saying. I'm just Oh, did I? Maybe I did. Okay,
Yes.
so they're not. So maybe I did. Okay.
I'm
So
sorry.
let me. So
I'm sorry.
maybe I missed. Okay, so if you were suggesting that United States is using military operation to stop the trade between North and South, then that's not what they're doing. Okay, but you were talking about just trade,
I
like
said
trade agreement.
they are. I okay. Let me roll it back because I said it a little fast. Last week, I said they should either sanction every country in the Gulf to stop those ships going from every Gulf country into those IRGC ports, or they should hit them with missiles. Either one of those is going to stop it. You said,
Right.
well, you can't do that. And I said, look, missiles work. Once you hit a couple of them, they'll stop, or they could sanction. Like I said, this accomplishes what I wanted since last week.
Right. Okay. So I did correctly understand you, even though you're laughing at me. Yeah, they're not
No,
gonna
but you
do. They're
said,
not gonna.
well, you said that that's
Yeah.
not what I'm
they're-
saying. That's
Yeah. Okay.
exactly what I said.
But okay, I'm gonna finish my thought. So what they're doing is they are putting pressure on countries in the Persian Gulf, Arab countries in the Persian Gulf, to just stop trading with the Islamic Republic, and the UAE responded to the pressure, and the UAE was the most important country to respond to the pressure because a third of the Islamic Republic's trade goes through the UAE. So this is a kick. This is a huge kick in the nuts of the Islamic Republic, exactly at their when they are the most desperate. So let me actually play this 10-second. Oh, by the way, we got a membership gift. Thank you so much, Amir. Thank you so much, Amir, for the membership gift. Appreciate you. Let me play this 10-second clip over here.
Other places. In addition, a lot of pipelines, record numbers of pipelines are being built. So I think the Hormuz Strait's not going to be quite as important as it was in the past.
Yeah, this is another thing that is happening. The not only the United States has the three major things has happened, right? One, the southern part of Strait of Hormuz is now open, really open, and completely under the control of the United States. Unlike what many people assumed, the United States has won this, like overwhelmingly won this, to the point that Reuters and CNN are now are saying this. CNN and Reuters both came up with reports saying that the Islamic Republic, showing that the Islamic Republic has lost control over the Strait of Hormuz, and the United States is shipping millions of barrels unchallenged in this from the southern parts of the Strait of Hormuz. So that's one, right? That's a huge win for the United States, to the point where CNN, which is aggressively anti-Trump, is saying that now, right? And so CNN's report shows that the Islamic Republic has lost control, and the United States has control. Reuters' report shows the millions of barrels that are going through the southern route, and how very little Islamic Republic. So the Islamic Republic was trying to create a situation in the Strait of Hormuz where they get to sell their oil and no one else gets to sell their oil. What we are dealing with right now is the exact opposite of what the Islamic Republic was trying to do.
Sounds great.
Exact opposite. Yes. That means that the Arab countries are selling at volumes that are very close to what was before the war, and the Islamic Republic is selling zero barrels through the Strait and the Gulf of Oman.
Great.
Right?
That's
yeah. So
great.
this is a huge win, and what President Trump is also referring to here is basically another win for the United States, is that investments in many other alternatives to the Strait of Hormuz that the United States has been trying to work on for years is now happening, and this is making the Strait of Hormuz less relevant than ever before. And this is also working, and this is something that we predicted, and it's now happening. Right?
Yes.
Right. So let me give everybody a summary here.
Hey guys, good morning. Overnight, President Trump announced what he is calling economic D-Day against Iran. The president indicated that any country around the world providing a lifeline to the Iranians could face economic consequences of their own. He called on allies to stand with the United States, posting to True Social, "No one has given the Islamic Republic of Iran a greater opportunity to make a deal than me. Tragically for them, they have failed to take it. Therefore, today I am announcing the most crushing economic operation ever taken against any country. This will be economic warfare and isolation on an unprecedented scale." On Wednesday, the president...
Guys, I know President Trump sometimes exaggerates and does bluffs and does 5D chess, art of the deal. This is not one of those. This is actually an unprecedented level of isolation. Unprecedented level of isolation, and is producing results. I am monitoring what's happening inside Iran, and this is producing results. This is definitely producing results. Right?
It's also a worldwide shot across the bow. We can do this to you too. Cuba, we can do this to you too. Nicaragua. Nicaragua considers itself to have a twin revolution because it happened the same year. And they have a lot of IRGC, love and connections. So, this is good for the Don Road Doctrine because we could do this in a lot of places.
Yes.
Unprecedented scale. On Wednesday, the president described the state of play amid reports that the United States is still overseeing vessels through a safe corridor to export millions of barrels of oil out of the Persian Gulf each day.
Well, we have things that we could sanction. We have very draconian sanctions, and we'll see what happens. Right now, the strait is open. A lot of boats are coming through. People aren't reporting that, and that may slow down a little bit at some point. But right now, a lot of boats are coming through. The naval blockade has been extremely effective.
The Iranians have responded to the president's comments overnight, with Iran's foreign minister saying the so-called economic D-Day is a diversion from America's own crisis. Unprecedented debt and surging interest costs. Doubling down on failed policies will only bring further defeat and enmity of Iranians. U.S. economic terrorism threatens global economy and sovereignty worldwide. Regional intelligence.
So how do you respond to Arakshi? He's saying the so-called economic D-Day is a diversion for Americans' own crisis, unprecedented debt and surging interest costs.
I would say that the IRGC's war against everyone is them causing themselves an economic D-Day, and they were doing it because they want to distract from their debt, surging interest costs, and they're doubling down on failed policies that will only bring further defeat to the IRGC and the enmity of the world. Iran's economic terrorism on the Strait threatens global economy and sovereignty worldwide. I could just take that and apply that to that.
Yes.
They're just
I mean, and also unprecedented debt. The reason why debt in the United States is high is because the projected future growth is high, and you have more debt because the interest rate on the debt is lower than the projected growth rate. So, I'm not saying unlimited debt is always good, but having a lot of debt is a natural response to projections of future growth. The reason why the United States has a lot of debt, not all debt is bad. Low interest rate debt, that is, when you think your economy is going to grow, I don't know, by 20%, then if debt is available at 4, 5, 6%, then you would be crazy not to have a lot of debt, because there's an arbitrage there. Yes, exactly. And this is just the high debt is just a natural result of America being a fast-growing country, right? And the surging interest costs. Yeah, this is actually everywhere in the world. This is happening everywhere in the world, except maybe China. And China, the reason why that's not happening in China is because it's not a good reason. Okay, but this is a global thing right now, Arakchi. But also, I don't know, people in glass houses and stones. I don't know, something I've heard about that. I don't know. I think you should maybe look into that.
Well, they have the bad kind of debt because they have to trade with resources they can't really afford to lose, because they don't even have a way to process the resources they do have. So they're like their debt is terrible. It's kind of different kind of debt, right? They owe terrible people a lot.
Yeah, they have a lot of problems. Yeah. I mean that. I mean that's just one of their problems. They have, economically, talking about if you are an official of the Islamic Republic, it's pathetic and ridiculous to point at America's economic problems. Are you kidding me? Look at the situation in your own country, Arakshi. We did get a super chat that I want to respond to. Justin, thank you so much for the super chat, saying, in my opinion, this new development may be worse than I originally feared. This tells me Trump is not willing to do what's necessary. Just 2 days ago, I asked if suffocating them will work. Armin said only few might surrender, not entire Islamic Republic. Well, I mean, I didn't say only few. I cut the Islamic Republic into different pieces, and told you how different segments will behave. I didn't use the word few, did I? Because some of the most important people within the Islamic Republic in that categorization, told you that they will surrender. I said within IRGC, certain segments will surrender, certain people will resist. Within the officials, many people will, with the officials, the bureaucracy, many of the people will surrender. But Justin, the main thing that you have to take into account is the entire collapse of the structure, with or without surrender, right? So you will have some people surrendering and some people will not surrender, who will keep fighting. But even the people who are fighting, they're going to be fighting without the economic infrastructure of the Islamic Republic behind them, right? So even if they don't surrender, they're much less equipped to be able to resist you, right? So imagine there's two types of people, right? They have guns. and we're slowly taking away their guns from them. And then one of them at some point is going to be like, okay, I don't have enough ammunition, I'm going to surrender. The other person is going to continue to resist, but even the person who's going to resist, they have very little ammunition at their hand, and the entire infrastructure that was supporting them is not there anymore. So even the ones who are resisting, they're dealing without that backup. Does that make sense? What do you
Yes,
think?
I would add, if I may, that there is a possibility that they won't surrender to Trump. But if things get bad, there's a transitional council created. It's seen as not a U.S. Imposition, but like an outside body that's trying to bring a democratic solution for Iran that may be more palatable for a lot of people that would not be perhaps willing to accept or admit that they are not so happy with the IRGC. But like if it gets really rough and that those mechanisms starting to coming into play, FDD starts being more in the White House, they start helping with that kind of mechanism. Like we're looking at the short game, but like if we look at the long game, like things may change in a way that maybe I wouldn't say like completely peaceful, but like the transition may not have to be as unsmooth as people think, right? There's always going to be a little friction, but let's see what happens.
Yes, and yeah, and to add to that, it also might take longer than people. I'm saying that I'm not promising the collapse of the Islamic Republic tomorrow. Okay, it might happen like soon, but it might not. It might not. I'm not like our analysis is not that, oh, this is going to be over and done with quickly. Nobody can give you a time. Nobody can give you a timeline, and anybody who does is lying to you, because it's unless they tell you that I'm skeptical about this, take it with a grain of salt, and this is just a guess, I'm not sure about it, then yeah, okay, then take their timeline. But anybody that tells you a timeline and is certain about the timeline, expressing certainty about the timeline, is messing with you, and they're just trying to sell you entertainment rather than actual proper analysis. So this might take a long time, but what I can tell you is the Islamic Republic is getting weaker, and it's getting weaker fast, and it's getting weaker, like is being hurt significantly. Like the damage that is taking is huge right now, and I could tell you we're moving in the right direction. I don't know when we're going to reach our destination, but I know that we're moving towards the destination. And right now, the speed at which we're moving towards the destination is faster than other days. That's what I could tell you without
Yes,
being
like
irresponsible.
soon is very relative. Like if you look at soon compared to the amount of time that they've been in power, because we do like we know it's not gonna take as long as they've been in power, but it's soon compared to like when they're gonna be in power, but not soon like right now, like tomorrow. So like even if we had like this big operation and did a big thing, like from here, let's say they gave up and they ran away. From there to stability, to having a government in place, to having a series of elections, these things take time. So at your most optimistic, it, patience is very much needed, right?
Yes. Yes. We're yeah, that's a yeah, exactly. And then Justin with another follow-up question. Thank you, Justin, for the super chat, saying, could enough of the leadership surrender to Allah Pahlavi and his security forces, the more regards to take control? That has been Princess of Pahlavi's ideal outcome for decades now. That's what he has been fighting for. He wants a bloodless surrender of the Islamic Republic. I mean, he's not under the impression that that's necessarily how it would happen. He knows it could happen in different ways, but that's what he has been fighting for. And could enough of the leadership surrender? Absolutely, absolutely. That's the whole point of everything we're doing to get to that point. But again, when that would happen, we don't know. But almost everything we're doing is to get to that. Like that's what it's going to look like. If you're wanting to, like, some people would die, some people would be arrested, but the goal is to. This is why this is not just a military battle is not just a revolution of people in the streets. It's also a battle of narratives, right? This is why, Justin, after the Lion and Sun revolutions, after early January, the peak of the uprisings, and during the 40-day war, there was a lot of attempt to hack the state TV and put messages out there encouraging people from the regime to surrender, because the goal is to overwhelm the regime people at some point, either with military operations, with a number of people who are in the streets, with intimidation, with promises of forgiveness if they surrender, or at least leniency. All of it, everything that everybody does is to get to that point that some people surrender eventually, and the people actually, sovereignty goes back to the people.
Exactly. I completely agree.
Okay.
I
Thank
would
you
add
for super. Yeah, go on.
that we're seeing movement with the FDD. Talked about that yesterday. So, good signs.
Yeah. You know what? So many people are asking good questions. I'm going to change the banner. Related questions. Okay. Let me put this banner here. I think we should have this banner. I like answering your guys' questions. Okay. So ask your Iran related questions. I'm going to put that there. And then we got another super chat. How do you pronounce this?
Maltese Super Khalil.
Khalil. Okay. Thank you for the super chat saying, I would imagine these transitions and pauses maybe be arming the Immortal Guard and struggling the IRGC. So the second part is true, but arming the Immortal Guards is at a level that is required for certain special operations. I hope that's happening, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's happening, if that's what you mean. Like if you're talking about certain groups within Iran who are part of the Immortal Guard, who are being armed by Mossad and CIA, I would say actually at a level that is special ops related, like not at a level that is going to be building an ground army that could go take cities. I don't think at that level it's happening, because if it was happening at that level, it would be almost impossible to hide. But I would say, and let me see if a monkey agrees with me on this or not, but at the level that is about, for special operations, I think it's very likely that that's happening. Do you agree with that? That that's very likely that that's happening?
Yes. Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I think that's a good assessment.
Okay. Cool. And then, monkey, how do you respond to this? Sean, which by the way, Sean, which I like, he has this view that Trump has everything planned, and everything was planned perfectly from day one, and Trump is always right, and he's playing a 5D chess, and the IRGC is collapsing, and a double up. Oh my god, I like Sean using the double uprising term, and I like Sean. I like your optimism. I don't know if I go that far though. Would you? What do you think, Mikey?
Sean is great. Sean is very good. Handsome guy. But Sean, I have to tell you that I myself will tell you sometimes I make mistakes. I'm not always right. I'm usually right. But I got to tell you, I love your enthusiasm. Thank you very much for your attention to this matter.
Okay. There you go. Okay, and then some other people have the opposite view, like GTA. It's saying 5D chess, LOL, now Sunni Islamist supremacists making coalitions and starting Ottoman Empire 2.0. So GTA has a pessimistic take. And we have people on both sides here, people who think that everything is going exactly according to Trump's plan, and people who think that everything is going to crap. And let's see, GTA is saying there is no 5D chess plan. So it's good that, yeah, go ahead.
I got to tell you, what we're doing here Turkey wants help with the PPK. If it's not us, if it's Saudi and Pakistan doing it, let them do it. If Pakistan wants help with Afghanistan, let Saudi Arabia and Turkey help them. Why do we have to be there about that? If the Saudis want help with Yemen, let Pakistan and Turkey help them. It leaves us out of it. They got to pull their own weight. We can't be paying for everything. Thank you for your attention to this.
See, even our admins disagree, right? So Amir is saying Trump failed so far miserably, and Funson is saying I try to remain in the center. Okay, so Funson is somewhere in between these, right? Okay, so
Okay,
we have a
guys. Don't
divergence.
let Trump hear this, but I've called him a retard many times. Don't tell him I said that though.
Yeah, we need the Salt Queen. All right, let me go to the Koala Katie with a super chat saying, how are the Iranian people feeling about the sanctions? Is there a specific goal you hope the sanctions will achieve? Uprising, surrender, etc. All right, so I think based on, again, I will tell you what the Iranians I am in touch with are feeling, and the Iranians that I'm from our side that I see on social media commenting. Okay, I would say that to you while being honest about also telling you that my experience with the people I'm in touch with and the people that I'm monitoring is not scientifically collected and scientifically analyzed data. Okay, so I think it's important to say that, right? Because I have to tell you that this is my experience, which may be not a reflection. Good. Well, I mean, it's not. It's skewed, and it's not like I managed to go and collect polls from Iranians from everywhere in Iran. Right. So I'll tell you what I am seeing. Right? Is that fair? Because I don't want to misrepresent my view as if I'm speaking on behalf of like Iranian people. Okay. So the views that I am seeing from our social circles is that this is extremely hard, but but it's worth it if it ends the Islamic Republic. This is the worst that it could be. We're living in hell, but if this gets the job done, and if it brings out the Islamic Republic, we'll go through it. We'll go through whatever hell necessary, if it's what it takes to bring down the Islamic Republic. That's my understanding.
Absolutely. Like I just
That was a
agree.
good.
I can't add a lot to it. If I completely agree, I'm just gonna be repetitive. And I think you're right.
Yes. And well, thank you. Koala Katie saying that's fair. I'm not expecting a peer-reviewed journal to go. Oh, whew. I was about. Well, Koala Katie, I was about to get started. I
Oh,
was
I'm gonna
about to get
start
to
one,
work.
but it's on K through 12 influence of foreign entities. So be on the lookout for that.
Yes. Yes. Well, thank you, Katie, because I didn't call Katie. I didn't know what I'm gonna do with the rest of my life because I thought I had huge homework. But that's a very good question, Koala Katie. A very good question. And so the positive way of looking at it, and this is something Monkey pointed out as well. The positive way of looking at this is that this shows a lot of resilience and a lot of still being in the fight and being united and focused on whatever it needs to happen to get the Islamic Republic done and over with. But the flip side, the negative side of it is that if it doesn't lead to that, then it will cause so much despair, because then they have gone through hell and they continue to be stuck with the Islamic Republic. And it was for naught. Right?
I don't think it will be all for naught, but it is hard to manage interpretation of factors when you're under pressure. You understand? It's hard. It's
Yes.
hard to have an optimistic perspective when the pressure is aiming you at things are going bad.
Yes. Yeah. Perfect.
I would say keep the hope alive, keep the hope up, but like, you know, it's very easy for me to do that where I am. Like I got my own stuff to deal with, but I can't pretend to know what it would be like to be in that situation.
Yeah, that's a extreme level of self-awareness, Monkey, because sometimes people are told the Iranian people, sometimes people tell the Iranian people to don't give up hope, keep doing this, keep fighting, right? And they like in the middle of it, and they watch people from a safe and secure place telling them that keep the hope up, keep fighting, while they don't understand how difficult it is, right? Like for example, if my child, for example, needs medicine and she's suffering because I can't afford it because of the current economic conditions, and if I could afford it, she would be suffering a lot less, right? And somebody who is not experiencing that tell me like don't give up hope. I don't know how other people would feel about that, but I would feel like hurting that person that is telling me that if they haven't experienced that, right?
I've been
listen.
there,
Yeah.
but not that I get like not that angry. Not I wouldn't like necessarily go to like I want to strangle you, but I would be like, oh man, if only you knew how what it's like to have a kid that needs shit and you can't get it. It just drives you nuts. And any parent has kind of gone through that kind of like at some phase. Some lucky parents haven't, but like yeah, that's an example. I think that is perfect because a lot of like let's face it, I don't want to call you guys old, but a lot of us young chatters have children, and you can put yourself in the Iranian people's shoe in that sense. Like you have family, you have people to take care of, right? So you can understand why sometimes words of encouragement can feel dismissive. And we're not trying to do
I
that. We're trying to recognize that we understand if you don't accept our our hopeful cheering and trying to if you are at a day where you're not up for that and you feel like raging, I chimp out too. I understand.
I was listening to this audio message from a father inside Iran, and he was holding his daughter in his arms, and the daughter was like hugging him and like talking to him. I don't know about what, and she was looking at her dad, and she was talking to him, and he was saying in the audio message that I couldn't look at her, like she was so excited to see me when I came home, and she jumped in my arms and she's looking at me and talking to me, and I couldn't look at her because she has this disease that I don't know what it is, but when she opened her mouth and talked, the roof of her mouth was scarred, and she could see the scar. He could see the scars in her mouth, and he couldn't fix this because he couldn't afford what she needed. So when she jumped in his arm, and was talking to him, he couldn't bring himself to look in her face because seeing those scars inside her mouth made him feel like a failure because he couldn't fix that for her, right? That's the message. Like those are the type of messages that sometimes I get. Let me actually share one message from inside Iran. And guys, I will
You're
get
gonna
to
make an
the
old
other
monkey cry.
No, this is not a parenting thing. This came from yesterday. So Javidnam, you guys know what Javidnam means, right? Javidnam means the people who died for this revolution, and Javidnam means like people whose names are immortal, right?
Hey, if I gotta
Oh,
cry, I
Sid is
cry. Don't stop it on my account, okay? Hey,
yes,
we gotta
yes.
do what we gotta do.
Oh, Sid is in the chat, guys. Sid will be here tomorrow. Sid is saying, "Hey, Liberty friends. Oh, I like that, Liberty friends. Oh, we should use that. Saying Durud and Shalom. Miss you all. Be back tomorrow. Okay, Sid, guys. Sid will be back. Promise, Sid. We're gonna be back here tomorrow. All right. So let me play this.
داشت میخواستم اعلام بکنم که من یه جاویدنام آیندم به زودی شاید
So he's recording this message and posted it on social media from inside Iran. He said, "I'm a future Javidnam." Like, I just wanted to tell everybody that I'm a future Javidnam. Like, basically, he means that he's going to participate in the uprisings and he's going to die, right?
شاید اسمم بشه یه جاویدنام الان که زودی شاید اسمم بشه یه جاویدنام
Like, very soon my name will become a Javidnam.
الان که زندم دارم میگم من زورم به این زندگی نمیرسه برات
Like, I want to tell you, brother, that right now that I'm alive, I want to tell you that I'm not going to be able to survive this life. Like, I can't handle this life, the life that I have right now.
الان که زندم میگم هر چی دویدم 10-12 سال مستقل رو پای خودم دستم تو جیب خودم زندگی کردم
Like, for 10 and 12 years, I've been working so hard to be able to be self-reliant, to put my hands in my own pockets, not someone else's pocket. Like, I've tried for the past 10 and 12 years to be able to make a living.
نرسیدم برادر
I'm not able.
مگه من چقدر در بیارم ماهی 19 میلیون به والله قسم من تو تهران اجاره خونه میدادم اومدم
Like, my rent is 19 million a month in Tehran.
اینجا الان 12 تومن میدم با شارژ آخه
So I came to this other, I don't know where he is, but he came to this other place so that the rent is 12 million instead.
نمیدادم اومدم اینجا الان 12 تومن میدم با شارژ آخه چه خبره برادر چقدر خورد و خوراک روزی 1 میلیون 2 میلیون باید خورد و خوراک بدی
Like, every day is cost for eating alone. We have to pay 1 million, 2 million every single day just to be able to eat.
ماشین رو جرئت نمی‌کنیم تعمیرگاه ببریم نه کولر داره نه هیچی کولرش
Like, I'll never take my car to fix my car because I'm afraid of the price to fix my car. Like, it has no aircon right now because when I try to go fix the aircon,
میگه 20 میلیون خرج
like, they told me to fix the aircon is going to cost you 20 million. He's laughing about the price of fixing
چه
something.
کولرته آقا جان من نمیکشم داداشم
Like, he's saying I give up. Like, I can't live.
من کمر خم کردم
Like, I'm bending the knee. I'm bending the knee. I give up. I give up on life.
من نمیکشم من یه جاویدنام آیندم برادر
I'm going to be a Javid now. So he's saying I'm just going to go and participate in the uprising and die because he says I give up. I give up on trying to live. That's
Yeah.
what yeah.
I understand. Like, he sees this as how can I say this? The end.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, so many of the people who go to the uprising, some of them go to die because they're like, I can't afford to live. So at least maybe I'll go to the uprising and be useful in that way. And hopefully they will shoot me so I don't have to deal with, like, surviving.
Yeah.
Sarah is saying they literally have nothing to lose. This is what the Islamic Republic is worried about, because it tries to threaten people with taking their lives, and when people have no lives, then they become fearless. But then this is why the Islamic Republic threatens people with rape and also hurting their loved ones, because so many people participate in the uprisings because they think to themselves, what is the worst that could happen? The worst that could happen is that I could die. And the Islamic Republic tries to change that calculation by showing them that is not the worst thing that could happen. I can do worse. I can do worse than killing you. And that is the point of raping both male and female prisoners and also hurting their family. For the Islamic Republic to show that even if you don't care about your own life, there are still things that you care about that might not be your life, but it is something you care about. That is the point of that.
It's so sadistic. I think that's the right word. It's sadistic. This isn't I don't I'm at a loss for words to describe diabolical. Yeah, that's another good word. Sadistic, diabolical. Like usually the best words are just, in I know some people like go away from religion, but these are like terms that we've used for centuries and decades. And diabolical, sadistic is more secular, but diabolical is also a word that I would use. Demonic, like like this is something that evil creatures do. Evil creatures that are not human. And we would hope that there be justice for these people and that justice come swiftly and take their time with it.
Yeah, just hopefully we get free soon of this madness.
Well, Nitani has a good one, sociopathic.
Yeah. We got a super chat by PJ. Thank you so much, PJ, saying, Armin, do you know if they have cut off the internet again in Iran? No, they didn't cut off the internet. I noticed so many people are experiencing slower internet than before. Some people, and again, depends on who you are and where you are. But they didn't. I mean, I just right before the stream, I just had a stream on my Persian channel. So I got my Persian channel, guys. My audience is 80% inside Iran, 20% Iranian diaspora, but 80% of my audience is inside Iran. And I had the show, and most of the people in the chat were from Iran. So,
Can I ask you a question about that?
But slower than before. Yes, internet is slower. Go on. Yes.
Is it still on because they need the income from the internet more than they gain control by blocking it? Like if they block it, they're gonna have a lot of angry people, and if they just leave it on, they can sell the SIM cards and like have their little underground stuff going. Or is that not even a calculus?
Yeah, I mean, there's very little benefit right now, but for cutting the benefit, it's all cost and very little benefit, right? So one of it is exactly what you just said. Like there's many companies that the IRGC owns that relies on the internet, so they make money, like so many, like the Iran's version of Amazon, Iran's version of Uber, Iran's version of Uber Eats. So many of these companies rely on the internet, and it's owned by the IRGC. So cutting the internet will mean the revenue will get cut. Cutting the internet will not make the anger go away. In fact, it will increase the anger. And it's not like the Iranian people are right now in the middle of like planning a nationwide protest. So cutting it is not going to stop something like that. So if they will cut the internet when they see that an uprising is imminent, to make communication difficult and make the videos to go to the international communities of the suppression of the uprising difficult, and also cutting the internet now when we're not when an uprising is not imminent will signal that something is about to happen and might cause make signal to people an uprising is imminent and then make the uprising imminent, right? So because if the internet is cut, the message is that the Islamic Republic thinks an uprising is imminent. So even why would I do that when there is not one, and make people think like, oh, is there uprising coming? I should go join, right? Because then you're signaling to it would be a call to action to people that there's an uprising that is about to happen. So if you want to join now.
Can I ask if there's an additional one? If you cut the internet and IRGC businesses can't function, that would also create a little bit of infighting.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, when people are not on the internet and the internet is cut, because there's an uprising and you don't have Instagram or anything to check, and you're just sitting there, you can't. There's no entertainment. There's nothing to check. You're like, I might as well go join the uprising, right? So it just fuels that, right?
So say like the TV or the internet is the opiate of the masses. Like, if you're just gonna be more aware of how much everything sucks, right?
Yes. Yes. There was a kid that self-deleted when the internet was cut, because his mom said, in Iran, the mom said that he couldn't find job, so he was keeping his mind busy with Instagram, because to keep his mind away from the fact that he couldn't find a job. And when the government cut the internet and he didn't have Instagram, then he ended himself, right? That's what the mom said. So
That's
so many
rough.
people would, so many people think that, if you have, especially a lot of young people are on social media and gaming. So if you cut all of that, like, that's their escape, right? They're depressed, they're sad. So social media and gaming is their escape. So if you cut the internet and they can't do that, many of them are like, okay, well, I have no job, I have no future, and I have no way to keep my mind occupied. I might as well join the protests.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there's that. Yeah. So, and also, PJ, I hope I answered your question. Great question. I appreciate that. And then Jose said that Armin and Monkey, I'm hearing that IRGC is cutting off power sporadically. Yeah, this has been going for a while, but it's getting worse. The reason why this is going for a while is because they just don't have power, right? They don't have the fuel to burn to actually give people power, which is kind of ironic because they're sitting on a lot of oil and gas, but they can't provide energy to their own people, even with the enriched uranium that was supposed to even add to the energy that they already have. But it used to be like a month ago, my friends were telling me that they get schedules, right? They get like, okay, your power is going to get cut from this hour to this hour, so you could prepare and manage your life around it. The situation is getting worse because now there's no schedule for many people, so you don't know when your power is going to get cut. And even
And
when they tell you, it's wrong. But go on.
that would lead to food rotting. That would lead you to be impossible to schedule your life around these types of things. Even if you have an online job, without energy, you have to make sure you have enough battery all the time. And I'm guessing they can't refine enough, and the civilian nuclear plants are not enough to cover the nation. So
No, not at
so
all.
yeah, they can't refine what they need, or they can't refine enough. Do they get all their fuel from outside?
Most of it.
Most of it? Okay.
Most of it, yeah, because they don't have enough refineries. A lot of the refineries that they depended on were in Russia, and Ukraine blew a lot of them up. So
Yeah.
now they don't have that. Yeah. And as Sarah is saying, yeah, Sarah, no AC and heat waves. That there's huge heat wave, and a lot of Iranian people are saying that they're waking up because the power gets cut, and they just wake up in the middle of heat because there's no power, and they can't go back to sleep because how hot it is. And then hold on, there was another comment here. Sarah was saying, who provides the Islamic Republic their internet? Who is their service provider? I mean, they have they have their own companies that provides. They created internet companies. They are the service provider. The
Exactly.
IRGC owns, yes. So the IRGC is the service provider.
They control the infrastructure.
Yes. That's why. By the way, it's actually kind of crazy because they ban YouTube, Instagram, WhatsApp, Telegram, knowing that Iranian people depend on it, like especially Instagram, or like many businesses in Iran rely on Instagram, right? Like marketing and everything is done on Instagram, right? They know that people need Instagram. They ban Instagram, and IRGC then provides the VPNs at a high price to go around the filtering that they created. Like that is how the mafia works, right? Like they ban something. So actually this is better than mafia, because the way that the mafia works is that the government bans something, and the mafia finds a way to make money off of the fact that that thing has been banned. But the IRGC is the most advanced version of a mafia, because they ban the thing themselves. They ban it themselves, and then they sell how to go around their own ban.
And then they can, like, well, this is like just corruption, right? This is just naked corruption. But if they catch you using the thing that they themselves sold you, they also have like a way to entrap any citizen, right? Because if everybody's using them, because everybody knows, then at any moment you can almost randomly grab anybody, and they're probably using a VPN that the state provided, right? Some IRGC black market provided. But because it's an IRGC black market, if they saying I got it from so and so, what matter? They won't even look at that. They're just going to look at what's on your phone and say, "Oh, you've been using Instagram with the VPN. You're going to jail."
Yeah. And then we got a super chat saying, in the near, thank you, by the way, channel 0071, saying, in the near future, why don't armed Iranians take control of the internet gateway and force it open? This will scare IRGC. Well, because you have to then hold it. Okay.
Yes.
So you could, so if you go and take the infrastructure is like, for example, let's say the data centers and is somewhere in Tehran, right? Or the gateway or whatever the building is. Let's say you go in with weapons and take it, and you're going to just guard it indefinitely. Like, how long can you hold that building?
And let's say you like created a system hack and try to open it from within the system, right? This is just this is a fictional scenario that we're playing out here. Okay. If you did that, you would, like, people would not need a VPN. Just because you forced it open doesn't mean you made it untraceable. That's one thing. Two, most people won't even notice because they're going to be on a VPN anyway. It would you know what they would get? Probably faster speeds, right?
Yeah, but it will be temporary. And honestly, like, and GTA is also saying the internet is not a big data center. It is so many local ISPs, very in every district. Yeah, and if you hold one of them, they just shut that one off, and it will be everything else. So it's not like one big internet building that you could go and hold.
There's nodes and ISPs, and there's a whole infrastructure around it.
Yes. The only way, guys, the only way is to get rid of the Islamic Republic. There's no other way.
Yes,
There's
that's the best.
no other way. Yes.
Back them the hell out of there.
Yes. I mean, if you have enough armed forces to go and take over a building, that's not the first building that you should go after. There are other better options, which I'm not going to elaborate. But I am going to show you this now that we're talking about the economy before we go back to the video. This is Hemmati. Hemmati is the head of the central bank in Iran. Head of the central bank, right? Because, a lot of times you think that when we tell you that, the Islamic Republic is suffering economically, you might think we're exaggerating. So every once in a while, I'll bring you a video, not from the people on our side, but from their side, so that you guys could see how bad the situation is getting, right? So I know a lot of you guys know that we're not making this stuff up, because you've already seen a lot of stuff that we show you. But every time there's something new, like this might not even be the best video. I'm showing it to you because it's from yesterday. So every time a new video comes like this, I'll try to show you guys so you know that we're not speaking out of our, what.
خب بالاخره اثر میذاره تو بازارهای ما به همسایه‌های ما همسایه‌های.
So he's saying, like, listen, there's a superpower over there, and they keep like pressuring us, they keep like attacking us, so obviously it's going to have an effect on the markets. So basically the interviewer is asking, like, why is the economy bad, and he's saying like because we're dealing with a superpower, like obviously that's going to have an
اثر
effect.
میذاره تو
He's like, are
بازارهای
you retarded?
It's like, what are you saying? It's like, well, because there's a superpower somewhere over there that is basically messing with our economy. So what do you think is going to happen?
نشسته هی هر روزم ورد میده. خب بالاخره اثر میذاره تو بازار.
And like you think, خب بالاخره اثر میذاره تو بازار. Like, well, that's going to have an effect on the markets. Like, right?
های ما به همسایه
But basically he's saying that, yeah. Yes, okay.
های ما به همسایه های ما میگن من نمیخوام اینو بگم خیلی هاشون
Oh, he's saying like our neighbors tell us this, and he laughs. He's like, I shouldn't be telling you what I'm going to tell you, okay? But our neighbors, right?
جرئت نمیکنن با ما بشینن فیلم بگیرن، میگن بگیرن به ما فشار میارن، عکس بگیرن میگن به ما فشار میارن.
He like the situation right now is so bad that our neighbors tell us that they can't even take a picture with us. They can't even take a picture with us. They're saying that they're going to be under pressure by the United States if they're in the same frame with us. So when we go meet them, they don't want to even take a picture with us. That's how bad the American pressure is on them, on our neighbors. And that's the situation that we're in.
Interesting.
Right? So this is
That's
how
very
perfect.
interesting.
Yeah.
No,
Like, this
because
is how. Yeah, he's giving this example to show you how big the American pressure is, that we can't even be in the same frame as them. But go on, Link.
remember how I used to say, hey, say it out there in public. Don't be like, nice to me and kissing my ass on the phone. But when you're out public, you're this big bad, dude. This is the same framing, but with the allies. Don't tell me that you're going to do everything my way, but then when you're in public, you're kissing Iran's ass. If you're Qatar, if you're Saudi Arabia, don't be like, oh, we're going to make if you're Oman, especially, right? Don't tell me that you're working for me, but in the pictures, it looks like you're working for the IRGC. That, like, the other version of that. And, do you think that's a good assessment? Like, you can't be in public supporting them if you're going to be in private telling me you're going to help me. I'm not hearing you.
I'm sorry. I was muted because I was drinking and didn't want you guys to hear my cup hitting the table. So I forgot to unmute myself. I'm saying this guy is part of the camp that is supposed to be the reformers, right? And this is the type of language that they use that the jihadi types hate. Because the jihadi types are like, we shouldn't show weakness. We should have messages of hope and victory and crushing America and Israel. And they get angry with these people. They think like they come on TV and say these things and admit defeat, which is demoralizing the pro-regime people, that maybe we're losing this. And some of them go as far as saying he's doing that on purpose. Some conspiracy theories by jihadi people is that him being part of Pezeshkian's cabinet, part of the reformers, these people are traitors, and what they're doing is treason. They think that the economic hardship that they're experiencing has nothing to do with the war with the United States, and all to do with the purposeful mismanagement of the economy by the Pezeshkian government to encourage the next uprising. They think that these people are infiltrators of America and Israel within the Islamic Republic, and the economy can handle all of this, and the United States is incapable of making the Islamic Republic suffer economically because we're strong. But the economy is suffering only because this is the plan. Mismanage the economy on purpose, cause the Iranian people to be angry with the regime, come on TV and say that this is because of the war with the United States, so that the people think that this is because of the Islamic Republic's ideology of being anti-American and anti-Israel, so that they blame the Islamic Republic instead of the Pezeshkian administration for the economic conditions, cause an uprising, and then topple the regime as part of the enemy's forces. That's the conspiracy theory.
Like it's everybody's fault but my party. Everybody's fault but my actions. Everybody's fault but my camp. I think that's the best way to put it. Everybody's fault but my camp. Right?
Yes.
And sometimes their camp is part of the actions and direct some of the actions that he blames on other camps. Like part of what the suits do is like, coordinated or signed off by the RIGC itself, right? Not everything, but like a lot of things, right? Some of it.
Yeah.
Like trips to go meet and all this thing. You're gonna leave the country to go meet with other people if the RIGC can have manpads that can knock you down for trying to leave without permission. So as much as you hate the suits have permission to leave and come back if they're going to Oman or Pakistan from the IRGC, because they wouldn't be able to take off or land without permission of the IRGC. Am I right about this? Is this logical?
Yeah. Yeah.
Extremists can't go into their brain that far.
Yeah. Okay, let me play the rest of this video.
Global economy and sovereignty worldwide.
Oh, look at this. Alex is saying this is really informative geopolitical show. Well, thank you, Alex. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
Bienvenido, hermano.
There's a lot of information that I gather from the Iranian side of the shows that I do, and I don't see it being shared anywhere on the English side. Like literally nowhere is sharing a lot of the information that I'm gathering from my work on the Iranian side. So I feel like if I don't share it here, it's not gonna. A lot of it is just gonna not go missing, because every time I come on this show, before I do that, I have a show on my Persian channel with my Iranian audience, and I have a team that gathers all the most important things that I need to see, and we review it and we talk about it. And not only that, I consume a lot of my news is in Persian. A lot of the content that I watch is in Persian. Not only the news, but also the content by the pro-regime people. Like I consume a huge portion of my day. I consume content from the people who support the regime, and I think that gives me an insight that is really that I don't see anywhere else providing it. I know, and I feel like if I don't share it, it's just going to go missing. Like it's not going to be available anywhere if I don't share it. So I'm glad that you guys are asking it, and I appreciate you guys asking it. All right, so let me just play the best part of this.
Defeat and enmity of Iranians. U.S. economic terrorism threatens global economy and sovereignty worldwide. Regional intelligence sources tell Fox News there are growing indications of economic hardship inside of Iran as a result of the U.S. naval blockade and economic isolation. Reports indicate that inflation in Iran has reached 89%, with food prices up 164%. The conflict is clearly shifting to economic warfare. The question here, whether or not this pressure will ultimately result in a deal or a return to combat operations. Guys?
So we know, Trey, that UAE...
Hey, guys.
All right, so that's that. Monkey, do you mind? We already went through that. Oh, look at this. This is, you know how yesterday I was talking about the CNN report? This is the CNN report I was talking about.
The
So CNN is admitting. Yeah, they had a huge report and they went over a lot of detail. And they showed this.
Their coverage is like 70% lies, 30% admitting, oh, it's not a lie, we were just wrong.
Yeah, I mean, there are certain parts that is separate from the other ones, like their opinion pieces, and they have sometimes like people independent from the rest to do, sometimes something proper investigative journalism. But
Yes.
look at this. So like, yeah. Eric is saying, boom. Even CNN is now reporting that Iran has lost significant control of the Strait of Hormuz, a massive shock to the Democrats who wanted President Trump to fail. The evidence is clear. The United States patrolling the strait with its navy is gaining ground, and Iran is losing much of its control of the critical waterway. Iran was never going to beat 47. The fake news even has to admit. That's what this guy is saying. Let me see what President Trump is saying here.
Hasn't gone to like the proverbial $300 a barrel. It's at 83, 84, 85. And it'll be a lot lower when this is over because we have plenty of oil. But one of the reasons it never went into 3 and 350 numbers because we have a lot coming in. And people are finding alternatives too. And you know one of the alternatives? Texas. You know another one? Alaska, Louisiana. They're coming to the United States to get oil. And people say, oh, you shouldn't say that because it makes it sound, well, it is what it is. I mean, they're coming to Texas, Louisiana, and Alaska to get oil. Mr. President, hasn't gone to like the proverbial.
Yeah, you remember we were told that oil prices will go to $200, $300 a barrel. Never made it even close.
Well, I believe we've been talking for many months about number one, our ability to get ships through anyway, and number two, offshoring and friendshoring. Like onshoring and friendshoring. When we're onshoring, we're selling that oil ourselves. When we're friendshoring, we are taking that. Let Canada sell that oil. Let Guyana sell that oil. Alaska, Brazil, Mexico, Norway, West Africa. We'll take that oil from anywhere but there, and that would lead to more friendshoring and onshoring, so that it becomes not literally irrelevant because we're still passing a lot of oil through there. But the more time it goes by, the more those Persian Gulf countries need to get on board or become not even part of the equation. Because once there's enough, onshoring and friendshoring, if they completely gain control, right, the oil will drop so low that it's not worth pulling out. So the best thing they can do is try to strangle the IRGC as fast as possible to get to some sort of normalcy and start, diversifying their income streams, which is what I think the 2030 Saudi plan was about. Was it Saudi or UAE?
Yep.
I get them mixed up sometimes.
Saudi, the 2030 vision.
Yeah.
Let's look at what Emily has to say here. I'll be right back. It's 2 minutes. She's doing some criticism here. I don't know what she's about to say, but we can listen to it. I'll be right back.
I know you've interviewed Reza Shah Pahlavi, the so-called crown prince of Iran, exiled crown prince. He's gone pretty quiet lately. And he was, I think, at one point identified as the guy that could, I don't know, rally the troops, get people to come out. Does he have relevance? I mean, tell us about what's going on here, because at one point he was a big story. Now he doesn't seem to be one.
I think he's very much still relevant. The biggest problem that I see with the Crown Prince is that a lot of the international community didn't really accept him, which is their prerogative. But at the same time, we can't deny the fact that there is only one opposition figure that people inside of Iran are even familiar with, and that the majority of them still support, at least for a transition leadership, even if they don't support him as a leader of Iran, or they're not monarchists themselves. And I don't think that should be discounted. The will of the Iranian people is something that the international community has ignored for a very long time. And I think that's a strategic mistake. I think this is a potential allyship that can be built in order to undermine the Islamic Republic. And we're missing an opportunity with that. I think that a lot of the international community missed an opportunity by not doubling down on supporting the Crown Prince from day one, because it is a very important tool that the international community can use to move the needle on the issue of Iran and the Islamic Republic. And we see, even in terms of internet connectivity, we saw at the beginning of the protests, when he did call for Iranians to go to the streets, we saw millions of them. And we also can see in his content that in the videos where he called people to go to the streets initially, I don't remember what the numbers are now, but it was in the tens of millions of views. And the second the internet was cut off, all of a sudden, all of his views dropped to below 2 million, which tells you something, that millions of people inside of Iran are very closely watching his calls to action. And that is something that we should use. It's a missed opportunity. But I think that if he isn't a major part of the solution, that would be a strategic mistake.
You know, I agree with her 100%. I think she's
It
so
would
on
be
point here.
it would be difficult for me to agree more. I don't think I could agree more. That's how much I completely agree with her.
Yes. I'm going to say something that some people here might disagree with. I think it was in hindsight, it was a strategic mistake to say, it's better for the Trump administration not to endorse Princess of Pahlavi, because if he did, it would seem like Princess of Pahlavi has been handpicked by the Americans. I think in hindsight, it should have been it would have been better if he came out and just endorsed and accepted his leadership. That would have been the
Well,
right move.
my perspective on this is like, you know what we have right now, right? That they're all playing local politics. Like she's talking about the international community's acceptance, maybe US included, but not necessarily only them. But if you look at most of the international opposition, most of them were playing local politics. And there were signals from the US administration, not necessarily Trump himself, but people around him, people close to him in the sphere of media, in the sphere of literal political, people in administrative positions within the government that, signaled their support, elected, like Lindsey Graham, I think was one of them, right? There's a few people. I don't remember if Lindsey Graham was literally one of them, but there's a few people that endorsed or like say, hey, I'm meeting with, he was over there at the funeral. There's a lot of signals that weren't as strong, but it's hard for being directly in the war to pick the guy. It's like we're allergic to it, I would almost say, because of our past. And because of our past, not just recent, like this goes back to 1776. Having an outsider pick who rules us, having an outsider pick who makes our rules. This is something that's ingrained in the American cultural DNA that even on both sides, they're kind of averse to it, right? So it would seem premature, but there's not an outright rejection, right? As far as I know, the only thing we said is, look, the people have to choose. There were talks about seeking someone very early. This is incredibly early in Iran, but that is now seen as impossible. So I think it's a stronger signal right now to move away from Trita Parsi and towards the FDD.
Yeah, but I do want to mention again that I think that the official recognition of Princess of Pahlavi as the leader and the representative of the Iranian people should have happened very much earlier by the Trump administration. And I think it was a big missed opportunity, not for Iranians, but not just for Iranians, but also for the United States. I think it was a huge missed opportunity. I do want to also address this comment in the chat. Somebody saying, maybe ask, so in response to Emily Schrader speaking about Princess of Pahlavi, somebody in the chat is saying, maybe ask an Iranian how we feel about him rather than Emily Schrader. Well, as an Iranian myself, I could tell you that Emily speaks for us. Iranians love Emily Schrader, and Emily Schrader does not have to be Iranian. She has been so on point and dedicated so much of her time and resources and attention in supporting us and our cause exactly the way we want people to, and exactly in agreement with the wants and wishes of the Iranian people, that she speaks for us. She is not an Iranian, and she does speak for us very, very effectively. Very effectively. So Emily Schrader very effectively speaks for the Iranian people, and we love her, and she's our hero.
Can I
And
add to
I think
this?
yep, and I see there's other Iranians in the chat saying we approve of Emily Schrader. Sarah saying, yeah, we accept her as a voice of Iranians. Exactly. But go on, Monkey. Yes.
I would add to this, even if you did not believe Armin or Emily Schrader, there are plenty of videos showing thousands upon thousands of people screaming Javid Shah. So this is not like the opinion of one or two people. This is something provable. There is no one else that has that kind of support. It is obvious, it is evidenced, and it is documented. Am I right about this?
You're right about that. And it's also documented that the Iranian people love Emily Schrader. That is also documented.
Javid Shah, Javid Emily.
Javid. Yes.
Yeah, long live, right?
Yes. Yes, Shana is here. Shana is saying sometimes you need a voice that already has the mic. Emily is doing a great thing. Yes, Emily is amazing. And a lot of Emily's positions have proven to be the right one. So she has a good record. So speaking of Princess of Pahlavi, his comms teams posted this, a message from inside Iran: the resistance has not stopped. So let me just play this. So saying, greeting folks, something really cool happened to me today. So this is from inside Iran. He's saying, so I thought I'd share it with you. So something cool happened today, so I'll share it with you. I was about to get into my car when I noticed this white piece of paper tucked under my windshield wiper. By the way, I haven't watched this. I don't know what's about to happen. Okay, so wait, he's saying and then he says, at first I thought it was just trash. But then I opened it and absolutely made my day. Oh. Take a look at what it is. What it was. I say, oh my God, this is amazing. This is amazing. Hats off. Immortal Guard. Look at this. This made his day. He came to his
Is that
car.
also the family?
Put this. Yes, that's the royal family before the revolution. Oh, that made his day.
Can you tell us what it says?
Yeah. Okay. So let me see. It's blocking it as دیار تبرستان برای آزادی ایران. Okay, so he's saying from this location for Iran's freedom. So it just mentions the location and saying they're fighting for freedom. And then here at the top it says چون ایران نباشد تن من مباد. So it's a poetry from Ferdowsi's Shahnameh saying that without Iran my body doesn't exist. Like I do not exist without Iran, basically. So this says, this is a message that the right side is a message that we're fighting for freedom. The left side is a poetry from Shahnameh saying without Iran we do not exist. But you know, the person who so somebody was going around and putting these on different people's cars under the windshield. And this person saw it and opened it, and it made his day. This is, these are the small things that we need to keep hope.
Like something you would you would see people, because we have something like this in Puerto Rico, but it's people putting like flyers Like you could like
Yeah.
put these in cars, like flyers, and people would think, oh, this is just they're putting ads for some store, and you could kind of
Yeah,
get away with it. Is that kind of what they're doing here?
yeah. But if somebody like it's dangerous because if somebody is like a regime person and then they open it before you leave, then you could, this would get, sometimes people exaggerate on what could get you the execution, right? This could get you the execution. Some people
Oh,
are like,
I
oh, if we just, yeah,
guaranteed.
yes, could get you the execution, yeah. Man.
You
So,
definitely go to jail.
oh yeah, for sure. We got a super chat by Zipgun saying, Emily June. Yes, Emily June. Yes. Thank
Is
you,
this
Zipgun.
is this like a part of like more like to lift the morale, like to show, hey, we got the balls to do this, so you got to know that there's ballsy people around here that are against your oppression, and it's this. I would think it would be cool to see this, like when it says from this location, they're talking about that city or that town, or is that what
Yes.
they mean? Okay, cool.
Yes. Yeah. So I actually have a video, Monkey, that was sent to me that I haven't shown anywhere yet. I'm downloading it now. This was sent to me from inside Iran. That is, I will post this on my X account. Guys, my X is Armin. Let me see if it's safe to share. The person sent me, he says, this is how I'm fighting. He was asking me if it's okay. It's a good way to fight. Hold on. Let me see if there's anything that I should not share. Let me show the full video. And he sent me this video saying, Armin, this is what I'm doing. Is this good? Please share this if it's good. And I'm like, yeah, this is good. I mean, I didn't, yeah, I told him it's good, but he was trying to do something, right? So he sent me the video. Yeah, I think this is safe to share. Okay, yeah. So look at this. So he goes and takes money and he just writes Javid Shah Pahlavi, Javid Shah. So and then he goes spends it, right? So he writes Pul Nevisi, they call this Pul Nevisi.
I
Right?
think
Pahlavi. So he writes Pahlavi, then heart, and then writes Javid Shah next to it. So he was like, so this guy messages me and he's like, Armin, what can I do? What's an effective way to spread the message? And you're like, I don't know. I don't want to give you any ideas. Then, be responsible for like, but then he said like, what about this? What if I do this? Like this guy done like interesting things. And then he should send me this, like, I'm doing this, Armin. Is this good? So it is. Look at this. It's so cute. He writes Pahlavi, heart, Javid Shah, and then he draws a crown sometimes. Like sometimes he includes a crown. And look, he does
what
so
I
many
think.
of them. Yes, what?
This is a lot harder to throw away for anyone that gets it than paper. Like the supporter is going to be happy
Yeah,
to see the paper on the windshield. That's still a good thing. I'm not knocking that. But even if you're not a supporter, you're not going to throw this away. You're going to pass it.
yes.
You're going to spend it or you're going to take it because, okay, you paid with this. I'm not going to say no.
Yeah, you know what they might do? They might cross it. Oh.
Yeah,
What is
like
that one?
somebody might, like, you know what? Maybe that's happening a lot and they're having to, right? Is that a possibility that lots of people are doing it? And no one wants to like get rid of the money, so they just cross over it? Because that would be
Yeah,
like
because
a
look at this.
viral thing.
Like this one, for example, had a message already on it and somebody crossed it. So he see all of them were clean and he was writing on it, and then he got to something that was already crossed by somebody. So maybe this already had a Javid Shah on it. Look at this.
So
So
it's like a currency
this one,
message war.
yeah. So it's like, oh, you crossed that previous person who wrote Javid Shah? Well, I'm gonna write more now. Because then he wrote Garda Javidan, so the immortal guard. So this one he wrote something else and he wrote a lot more. But guys, I think like this last one, somebody already wrote Javid Shah, and the second person crossed it out, and now a third message is a third attempt. Wow. Wait, what did he write? See, this is like a message to popcorn. Wow! Oh my god, look at this. To popcorn, ma. I was right. Ma mean nevisim. Okay, So, guys, look at this. I didn't even know that this is happening. So he's writing on money, Javid Shah, Pahlavi, Heart, and Crown. And then he got to a message that somebody already before him had wrote Javid Shah and stuff like that on it. And then the second person crossed it. So now he's writing Garda Javidan, the immortal guards, keep crossing it out. We will write it again.
That's what I said.
Mom,
That you see what I mean?
Yeah. Topakon ma minevisim. Yes, you erase it, we will write it. Garda Javidan topakon ma minevisim. Javid Shah. Wow.
I think it gets to a point where you can't cross it out anymore. Does the currency have this problem where if you alter it too much, people won't accept it?
Say that again. Oh yeah. I mean, if it goes all black, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, like there's gonna be a point where like I'm not even gonna cross it out because if I cross it out, I'm not gonna be able to spend it. Like having something written on it is less alteration than a big black blotch.
Yeah, but honestly, this is not that much money. So if it gets bits, like this is Yekset is real. So that's like nothing anyway. So you might throw it away, the garbage. It's not that much
Oh,
money.
you can also start doing it like maybe he did it on all his bills, like even bigger bills. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we got 2 super chats. Oh, and we got to our goal. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. Amy is saying, reminds me of the French resistance. By the way, Amy, I saw you today on the Persian show. Thank you for being there. That was so sweet that you were there. I couldn't talk to you because I had so many things to go over on the Persian show, but thank you for showing up. Okay. So Amy is saying, reminds me of the French resistance during World War II, the underground printing of their own propaganda to get the word out. So brave. Yes. Yeah, this is dangerous and brave. And this guy wanted me to share this on X, and I haven't yet shared this video, and I will. Okay. I feel bad that I haven't posted this yet. I will post it soon. God, I have so many things to do. And thank you, Amy. But I showed it to you guys. Okay. So you guys saw this for the video for the first time. Thank you, Amy. And then Sarah, thank you so much for the super chat saying Max Amini told Bill Maher, I think, 30% of regime supporters, 30% of Iranian people are regime supporters. What the hell? 30%?
That's too many.
Who's Max Amini? Who's Max Amini? Oh,
Mayor could be Bill Maher.
Oh, it's a comedian. It's an Iranian comedian. I don't know these celebrities.
That would
30%?
make me believe
Are you
even
kidding
more
me?
that it's Bill Maher.
Yeah, Bill Maher. Yeah, Bill Maher. He told Bill Maher 30%. Are you? You know, he is going to get so much hate for Iranians. Oh my God! I think he's gonna get slaughtered on social media by Iranians.
Is there any
God
outside
damn.
poll that would say something like that, or is he just pulling it out of his?
He's just pulling it out of his.
Okay.
I mean, even the regime supporters are not regime supporters anymore.
No, but like sometimes you'll go with a biased state poll and it'll be a little true, like, you know, or some outside poll that they allow,
Oh.
but it's very old, like a very old poll. Like, I don't know if like
he's look at this. He's a leftist.
well, you know, that explains it.
Sarah said I think he said the Shah was a dictator. Okay, he's a celebrity. He's probably like a Cali leftist celebrity who happens to be Iranian.
It says here that Max Amini, Iranian American comedian, actor, producer, director.
He's probably just one of the anti-Shah.
Yeah. And he's born in America.
Yeah. 30%. That's insane.
His father is from Isfahan, mother from Azerbaijan, Iranian from Tabriz.
Oh, look at this. Zipgun gave us a super chat saying, adding the message makes it worth more. Oh, that's so sweet. Yes.
That is
In
a good
fact, it
point.
was worth. Yeah. In fact, this, given how worthless the currency is, I would say that this was worthless before the message, actually, now that you mention it.
Good point.
Yeah. Good point, Zipgun. Thank you. And thank you for getting us the confetti. Appreciate you. Okay. Let's go to President Trump here.
Well, we have things that we could sanction. We have very draconian sanctions, and we'll see what happens. Right now, the strait is open. A lot of boats are coming through. People aren't reporting that, and that may slow down a little bit at some point. But right now, a lot of boats are coming through. The naval blockade has been extremely effective. Zero, I mean, literally, while it's up, and it's been for quite a while, you know, except for a couple of little pauses where we opened it purposely with a deal. But the deal didn't terminate, you know, the deal didn't turn out to be what they said, you know, when they tell us one thing and they do another. But the blockade has been 100% successful. No boats have gotten into Iran, but they are getting in for other places. But we'll see. We're going to see what happens. It'll either be extremely good and oil prices are going to drop like a rock, or we'll continue to do exactly what we're doing. You know, they were talking about $350 a barrel, and it's today 84, 85. And we are getting a lot of oil out. But the other thing that's happened is people have found other alternatives, which they never thought about. Texas, Alaska, Louisiana, and other places. In addition, a lot of pipelines, record numbers of pipelines are being built. So I think the Hormuz Strait's not going to be quite as important as it was in the past. Well,
yep. This is what happens when you use economic vehicles as weapons. Then people are going to stop using them economically. When you weaponize the economy, it will stop being an effective economic force. This is why you should stop weaponizing the economy. The market will find other ways eventually. Maybe not at the first, but every time you weaponize the economy, the market will find other ways. And when you stop weaponizing the economy, the market is not going to come back like they used to, because they always think that you could weaponize it again.
It will cause permanent changes. There's a lot of people that said that they're not sending super tankers in there anymore because it's too much money stuck in an emergency.
Yeah. Tim Pool has a take on this. I don't know if it's going to be a good or bad take. We haven't reviewed Tim Pool's takes on Iran-related stuff ever, so I have no idea what he thinks about any of this. Let me see what he has
I
to say.
stopped watching him a while ago. I used to like him a lot, and he started saying stuff I couldn't get on board with. But, you know, I wasn't going to fight about it. I just stopped watching.
All right, let's see what he has to say here.
This is failure. Sorry, it just is. This prolonged war, I understand China is being strangled out. And this is why Trump's never going to tell you the truth. And this is why, look, I'm going to go and say stupid people who don't pay attention and don't read have little idea what's actually going on. And they're going to say something dumb like Israel did it. Israel's got their interests. That we've already been over. The U.S. is doing this. If you look at everything Trump has done, I've gone over this a million times, to destabilize global oil production and center new oil distribution through the United States. It's why he renamed it the Gulf of America. You may be saying, like, what a stupid thing to do. Why call it? Because when that is where all the oil of the world is flowing from, he doesn't want people to say the Gulf of Mexico. No, the United States will be the largest distributor. I believe at this point, it may be. This is why he pacified the Caribbean, blowing up these cartels.
Wait, I thought we were starting by saying that Trump is doing a stupid thing, but then we transitioned to making it seem like he's doing this most intelligent thing ever.
He's going harder into the 5D chess. Like, even the name was part of this plan.
Yeah, what did we just make a switch? He started by saying this was a stupid thing that the United States is doing, and now he's presenting us a plan that makes this seem like 5,000 D chess plan. Like, what happened? Did I miss something at the beginning?
He baited us into it.
Yeah.
He
Wait,
voiced
maybe I
clickbaited
misunderstood.
us.
Yeah, maybe I misunderstood. Like Trump, like America's being stupid and this being dumb. Let me tell you how how detailed and advanced and complex this plan is. Like these two don't work with. Let me actually. Maybe I missed that what he was trying to say at the beginning. Hold on,
This is failure.
Okay.
Sorry,
Okay.
it just is.
What?
This prolonged war, I understand
Iran's
China is
failure.
being strangled out. And this,
No, he's yeah, maybe Iran. Hold on.
I understand China is being strangled out. And this is why Trump's never going to tell you the truth. And this is why, look, I'm going to go and say stupid people who don't pay attention and don't read have little idea what's actually going on. And they're going to say something dumb like Israel did it. Israel's got their interests. That we've already been over. The U.S. is doing this. If you look at everything Trump has done, I've gone over this a million times, to destabilize global oil production and center new oil distribution through the United States. It's why he renamed it the Gulf of America. You may be saying, like, what a stupid thing to do. Why call it? Because when that is where all the oil of the world is flowing from, he doesn't want people to say the Gulf of Mexico. No, the United States will be the largest distributor. I believe it at this point, it may be. This is why he pacified the Caribbean, blowing up these cartel ships. This is why they surrounded Cuba. No resistance. It's why they moved on Venezuela. It's why Trump wanted the Panama Canal. You can see the chess pieces on the board. It's why he wants Greenland. He wants control of the Northwest and potentially Northeast passages. Now you look at the Strait of Hormuz, and he's strangling out China. The point being this: Trump ain't going to come out and say, we are driving gas prices and destroying everything because we want to damage the economy of the BRICS nations and wipe them off the map economically. You're not going to say that. I mean, China would be between a rock and a hard place at that point, where they have to tell their people, yeah, we're losing this. Now, the reality is China is losing this. And the question is, how long until they join the fray, or could they?
Wow, this makes it look so much better for Trump than anything and I've heard anyone say. Are you sure he's
I
anti-Trump?
feel baited. I feel like that first 10 seconds was just clickbait. It's audio clickbait. I had not heard audio clickbait before. I think he's doing live audio clickbait. Like when he made it, he's like, okay, I'm going to start the clip like this, bait everyone in angrily, then say what I'm going to say and make him sound like he's making him sound like a genius.
Yeah, but I think he's against that though. I think this is an anti-Trump video. Okay, like he's saying the things that we like because they will, defeat BRICS, make U.S. dominance, defeating China. That all sounds great to us, but I think from his perspective, this is evil.
Okay, let me try this on. If this is clickbait and marketing, you could sell this to isolationists and people who support it at the same time, and both would like it. The isolationists was like, yeah, this is terrible. Look, we're getting in with BRICS, we're getting in with China. It could turn bad. And the people who want this to happen, like, we're fucking. Yeah.
But I mean, people who know Tim, they know that he's like speaking against Trump. Like they know this, right?
Well,
somebody think Tim is not. Somebody think Tim is not anti-Trump. Tim is anti-Trump.
Okay, here's the thing.
There's
two audiences.
He calls him retarded.
There's two audiences: the people that know Tim from before, and the people that stopped watching Tim when he started waffling. So some people will remember that Tim, for a very long time, I'm talking years, has been pro-Trump. And there's people that are going to say, hey, lately, he's been kind of like, talking out of both sides of his mouth, and I'm not with it, which is where I am. I'm like, look, I don't understand what's going on here, but you're kind of saying shit that I can't align with. You're like tacitly approving of some stuff because it's a grand plan, but you don't like the grand plan, but you don't got your own plan. So what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
So I can't be on board with you, Tim. So that's where I'm at. But I was a big fan for a very long time. And he was very pro-Trump for a very long time.
And he's very anti-war right now, like anti this whole war.
He's been like that since Occupy Wall Street.
Yeah. And then, okay, look at this. Shauna in the chat saying, no. Shauna, thank you for the super chat. Saying, no, Pool's baseline of good and bad is different than ours. Yes, I agree. He's basically 1 inch to the right of ANCAPs, anarcho-capitalists. Okay, so he's
Yes.
like that's Lululand.
Extreme minarchy with a lot of isolationism.
Yes, and then Shana was also saying we don't want to destroy the nations of BRICS. We want to win economically. Exactly. That's what. Yeah. So he's like destroy is like exaggeration, and yeah, Shana was saying he's anti-war. His anti-war is the biggest thing. Okay, yeah. So that's the main thing here. So he was basically saying, and so I was right. He was saying all of this as if it's a. I mean, he's
Bad thing for war.
exaggerating.
Yeah,
right?
like war is bad.
Yeah, he was saying all of this thing as if this is a horrible thing that is happening. But honestly, I think he's like not only he's exaggerating with like destroying BRIC countries, like that's obviously not what the United States wants to do, but he's also overselling it to us. Like I'm not as optimistic. I don't think like the plan was this detailed and in advance. He's like this is a little bit too much. Like, oh, they've named the Gulf of Mexico Gulf of America because of this, because they saw all of this coming like way ahead of time, and everything is going according to a preset plan that all the pieces were set right exactly for everything to happen like as it did. Like, yeah, okay.
Oh, he's a genius, but I don't agree with him.
Yes, he's an evil genius. Trump is this evil, which contradicts what the other things he says. Because I remember Tim just a few months ago saying that Trump is an idiot, like a huge idiot. That, like, especially when Trump posted the picture of him in Jesus, and then he said, "This is not me as a Jesus; it's me as a doctor." Tim Pool came out and said anybody who thinks that Trump is smart is like an idiot themselves, like something like that. I don't remember exactly. Like okay, this is the guy that you guys think is smart. Like he came out and openly said Trump is like an idiot, right? Retarded.
I don't think he should have walked that back. I think he should have said, "Yeah, I like that. I like the image. I love Jesus. What's the problem?" Like I wouldn't have said, "Oh, this is obviously a doctor."
Yeah, but that's not the point I want to make. The point I want to make is that Tim is saying Trump is an idiot, and here he's showing us this master plan that makes him look like a genius. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
Yeah.
The only part that I think maybe a little out there, maybe I'm wrong, maybe it was part of the master plan, is the part about the name. But I don't disagree that these are some genius moves that were in the works so long ago. I'm having difficulty disagree. I know he disagrees with the methodology and the outcome. I know he doesn't like war. That's his whole thing. But if I'm going to be honest, I got to put myself in his shoes. There's stuff that Trump does that I say, yeah, that's, and it's not in the big scheme, like the whole picture thing. It's not a big deal. I can say, you know what? I don't think he was thinking doctors when that was made. I don't even know if he made it. It might have been some staffer that he doesn't want to throw under the bus. Like, that's a little thing. But when I'm looking at this, when he's talking about an important topic, I'm like, okay, I agree with everything you're saying. I just don't agree that it's a bad thing.
Yes, exactly. All right. Let me go from this one to here. Another person. Let's see. Well, guys, again, I know these people, we don't like these people, but we want to hear what their takes on their most recent takes of people who we disagree with on the whole.
You're
AI
lucky.
situation.
At least it's not Pierce. We'd have 5 idiots.
Listen.
They put all of their weapons production underground. They turned their country into a weapons making factory. Drones, missiles, centrifuges. They've got a 1 million-man army loyal to the regime that we're trying to replace. They're totally insulated from outside attempts to penetrate their society. Their regime has made the economy sanctions-proof because they've had to out of necessity. And so now what we found is that Iran is something like a porcupine. We can't swallow them. We can't step on them. There's nothing that we can do to them.
I mean, that is so stupid. Do you not see what's happening to them? There's nothing that we could do to them. I mean, maybe I should send Nick Fuentes the message of the head of the central bank in Iran to him, because he thinks that they're being crushed. The head of the central bank in Iran, the head of the central bank of the Islamic Republic, thinks they're being completely crushed, economically devastated.
I would say,
Really?
like, even his analogy doesn't make sense. You can pretty much starve a porcupine.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If they're starving the porcupine. That's a good, that, you know what? His analogy doesn't make sense, but yours does. Right? That's good. Wait. Oh wait, Shana, I will get to your comment soon.
And so it's like I said throughout the war, all that is left for the United States to do is really make the decision. Are we going to, and are we prepared to, escalate to victory? Because that involves not an economic blockade or these minor strikes like Israel described it, a contained bombing campaign on the coast. Are we prepared to invade the islands and then siege the mainland from the islands? Are we prepared to do this?
You know, he's upset that the invasion of the islands didn't happen, because he told his audience that that's what's going to happen, and you know it can't be avoided. So maybe now that it's not happening, he's kind of upset that the United States has found a way to devastate the Islamic Republic without sending troops on the ground, because that's what he said. You know, I noticed what Nick does. He comes up with this very confident predictions, and when they come true, he keeps mentioning, I told you, but with the ones that he doesn't come true, he just ignores them.
Yeah.
If not, and I don't think anybody in Washington thinks that's a good idea. If not, then all this is a question of how much longer are we willing to endure the pain before we accept the inevitable, which is that this is a total strategic defeat. This is a pivotal error that the United States has made in the history.
What pain?
What?
Like, I'm sorry, nothing was better under Trump. Like, the prices were higher, everything was higher under Trump. Like, the pain, like,
you mean Biden?
Under Biden, excuse me. Everything is better under Trump. Everything was worse under Biden, right? Everything, like prices of food, prices of everything. There might have been, you know how there's a rally and sometimes there's a correction. There may be a little bit of a correction, but if there's a correction, I don't think like it's literally because of the war. I think things were way too good when he got in, and that's kind of like there's been a little bit of a correction. Like this, I think this is a little bit more normal. I think prices were a little too low when we went in. You understand what I mean? Am I crazy here? You know more about this stuff than I do, but this is what I'm not the only one that says. I'm also like hearing it from other people.
So, I mean, the way that we need to talk about it is not whether the prices were lower or higher, but inflation rate. The inflation rate, because prices usually don't come down. Inflation rate comes down. Do you know what I mean? If you're managing things, and inflation rate, you know, it's not, there's no ideal prices. There's an ideal inflation rate, which is a little bit over 2%. So if the inflation is too much over 2%, that's bad. If it's too much under 2%, that's bad as well. So instead of looking at where the level of prices are, we have to look at the rate at which prices are changing. That's what you have to monitor.
Okay, so looking at it through that metric, am I correct in saying that there's been a decrease in inflation, a break on inflation, that it was just going sky high and it stopped or maybe gone lower? Because I did see a report that inflation had flattened.
Well, inflation is a flat inflation is bad. Like 0% inflation is bad. But I'm going to tell you something that a lot of people here are not going to accept, and it's fine. But I don't think like comparing Biden era inflation with Trump gives us any meaningful information, because during Biden we had COVID, and the beginning of the Ukraine war. So those will skew the numbers away from us to meaningfully be able to determine how much of it was because of mismanagement and how much of it was because of COVID and the war. So I think there's many better things to compare, and I think you're not going to be able to get a good assessment of whose performance was better focusing on inflation. And I know a
Okay,
lot of people don't like, yeah.
let me change my question.
Okay.
How can I then assess the difference between Trump and Biden? How can I
No.
counteract to this statement? Things are worse. How would you measure it?
I would focus on economic growth rather than inflation. You know, stop a stock market, job market, um, those things, those metrics, economic growth.
Okay, then I'm still right in what my gut was telling me. Things are better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, things
Okay.
are better. Yeah. Like economically, I think President Trump's strategies, even though there's some parts I disagree with, but obviously on average better.
Yeah, because he's saying pain, and I'm like, okay, what pain? What are you talking about? Pain that blue cities are causing to their blue constituents, or general pain?
Oh yeah, I mean the Americans on average. Again, this is something if you say is so unpopular to say because a lot of people in America might not be happy with their life. But if you tell them that this is the United States is on average is one of the best places, and now is one of the best times, people are like, "But I can't afford this. I can't afford that." And they get angry with you when you tell them that, and because they are dealing with anxiety and stress and issues. And if I tell them, well, on average you are doing better, like they will say, well, f you. Right? Like they will f you, and I understand why they will tell me f you. So it's something that I don't know how to talk about, because you look at data and you look at stats and you talk about it, and people are like, well, my personal experience is this, and they hate you because they think like you're telling them not to complain. So I need to find a way to talk about this without making people angry. And I haven't figured, because Ben Shapiro talked about this, and everything he said was 100% correct and scientifically accurate regarding how good Americans have it right now, compared to the rest of the world, and also historically. And so many people got really, really frustrated and with Ben Shapiro and said he's out of touch. He doesn't understand the frustrations of young people, even though if you look at everything he stated, it was completely factual. But I guess it's one thing to be factual, and it's another thing to deliver the message in a way that is received well. And I know Ben Shapiro says facts don't care about your feelings, but feelings, not like, I think feelings are important to consider in the delivery method of a message, or else people are just not going to receive your facts.
Yeah, feelings don't care about your facts.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at a stat here that says our income in America is at the top 10% of Earth. Like, you think you're gonna make more money on China and Africa? There's like the Earth is a big place, and say, oh, okay, we're doing bad, yes, and I understand your pain, but comparatively, is this true? Like, are we doing worse than most of the world, or should we be a little thankful that it could be a lot worse? Well, you know what? When you're having through a tough situation with family, it's very hard to see it that way. But if you ever have a moment to step back and consider it, you should.
Yes. Yeah, and another thing is that almost everything United States is more affordable than it used to be, except three things, and those three things have something in common, right? So the three things that are not as so food is more affordable, right? Gaming is more entertainment is more affordable, clothing is more affordable. Almost everything is more affordable for young people today than their parents. But the three things that are not more affordable is housing, healthcare, and education. And guess what these three things have in common?
Government intervention and subsidies and
Government
interference.
involved. government involvement. Exactly. Everything else that you just let the private market deal with it, they became more affordable, extremely more affordable. But the three things that are less affordable in the US are exactly the three things that the government is involved with. And then, oh, we got some super chats from Shana. Clean Shana, not just Shana. Shana is saying, also America wants to friendshore with many of the BRICS nations, exactly, namely India, exactly. It's leftist to say we would want to destroy them. Yeah, the United States does not want to destroy any of the BRICS countries, not even China, not even China. Yes, go on.
Not even China, yes. Can I add to that? The B in BRICS is Brazil, right?
Yes.
You know there's a chance that it turns right?
Yes.
They have an upcoming election. Like, that would just break the B off the BRICS.
Well, I mean, the BRICS is already broken apart. The BRICS is not the thing. I don't know. I don't, guys.
Right.
I don't take the BRICS very seriously. I don't know. Maybe I should. I don't know.
You want to be technical and realistic about it? Yeah, it's broken.
I mean, I take individual BRICS countries seriously. Like India is an economic superpower, right? But I don't take their union seriously. Like, I don't like. What are you guys like? You guys
was
don't
never
share
possible.
vision. You guys have like. What are you doing even? Like, two of you are kind of like in war with each other. Like, I was like, there's nothing that you share. Like, what is this union based on?
I think it was borrowing from China. That was the whole basis.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, actually, BRICS is too reliant on China. Shana with another super chat saying prices are also going up because of changes in the economy. And prices are supposed to go up. Are we talking about inflation going up? Okay, because guys, if inflation is supposed to be at 2%, that means prices should go up. If prices go down, something is seriously wrong with your economy. Like, if you're as bad as high inflation is, deflation is worse than high inflation. So inflation. I mean, I know I'm being nitpicky, right? So inflation is also going up because changes in the economy, companies are building, friendshoring, and retrofitting for a new economic model that is less reliant on foreign labor. Armin is correct. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. And Shana, let me know if you agree with this. I think that we might have to deal with deflation at some point in the future. Like, we're going to be criticizing the government at some point that you're not printing enough money, because I think technology and AI is going to make the economy so productive, and we're going to be producing so many goods and services at so low prices that there's too much goods and there's too few dollars chasing too many goods and services. And I think we're going to have deflation because of an oversupply of goods and services will make the prices go lower, and the government is going to be forced to print more money to actually cause an inflation. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen in the future because of the.
I would also add that having a foreign labor class with less rights because they're not legal and less protections and less income is bad. You don't want to have a two-tier system, second-class citizen system. So that's good to have more our labor, even if it's robots, let it be local. I want to star one comment that I saw here. India doesn't hate America. They have their own motifs. And I know she meant motives, but I also like the word motif.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Go on. Now, I was you unstarred a comment that I was going to highlight.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I get the wrong one?
No, that's okay. Sharma was also saying that the commies need to hate. I forgot what the comment says. It's okay. Sharna with another super chat saying, yes, I think we are actually going to see too much deflation within the next 5 years, it's going to be crazy how wealthy we are in goods and services. Yes, I think that's going to be a big problem. Okay. Oh yeah. So Shana was saying the commies need to use the miserable for them to get votes. Exactly.
True.
Yes. Thank you for going back and finding it, Monkey. I appreciate that. Yeah, guys, there's going to be a level of wealth and prosperity that is going to be hitting the world, and I don't think people are ready for it. Like, I am so optimistic about the future. If I tell you how optimistic I am about the future, some of you are going to be like, okay, Armin is crazy. Armin is crazy. That's why I don't share it. I don't share how optimistic I am about the future because a lot of you think I've lost it if I share fully how optimistic I am about the future. I will just say this. 100 years ago, people looking at the lives that we live today, they would think that this is not a life of kings. This is a life of gods. Right?
Yes.
And it's not gonna take 100 years it's gonna take less than half of that to make the same amount of change. So you need to be ready for a type of life for the average person that if you see today, you would call that a life worthy of a god. Not of a king, but of a god in less than 50 years.
Like just right now, life is so good that you should take advantage of all the modern inventions that make your life so much better than it was back then. Namely, Europeans, get some air conditioners. 175,000 of you are dying every year. That's too many. Join the modern world.
Yes. All right, and all of no, never mind. Yeah, wait. Let's not deal with this Nick anymore. Let's go from right to left. We talked about President Trump posting himself as Jesus, and apparently Abdul al-Sayed did something similar.
Jesus, peace and blessings be upon him, was considered radical in his time too. And there is a radical Jesus.
Oh, okay. So they're saying they called him radical. He said like, well, Jesus was considered radical. So I'm radical like Jesus. Okay. And he put an ad video here. Let me see. Abdul al-Sayed is saying, does it ever feel like you're in a cage being watched? Well, you are by flock cameras. Thanks to Mike Rogers. Okay, so he's trying to find ways to attack Mike Rogers. Guys, Mike Rogers is a Republican candidate for midterms for Michigan Senate seat. And in the past few days, Abdul al-Sayed, which is the DSA candidate for the Senate in Michigan, has been posting some videos, and each one of its videos is getting a lot of views. A lot of views. So this one got, I think he's posting one video every day, and they're doing very well. Like they're going viral. This one got 1 million views. So let's see what this one is.
Hey, does it ever feel like you're in a cage, kind of stuck, being watched? Well, that's because you are. There's been this mass proliferation of flock cameras, any and everywhere. Little cameras watching your every move to collect information about you without you even noticing. That's all been part of a regime that's been pushed by, well, this guy.
Somebody must be doing something exactly right. But who would be complaining? Somebody whose privacy was violated. You can't have your privacy violated if you don't know your privacy is violated, right?
Who happens to be the guy I'm running against? That's Mike Rogers, who wants to be Michigan's next U.S. Senator, not if I have anything to say about it. So if you believe like me that you shouldn't just be surveilled because you're driving along the street, then I hope I can earn your support, because we've got to stand up to this mass surveillance apparatus that is being built behind closed doors and behind our backs.
I mean, I think he knows who he's talking to. He's talking to criminals who don't want to be on camera, right? Like he knows.
Yes,
he knows
that, but he will not mention any authoritarian regime that uses this, especially if they're Islamic. You understand what I'm saying? Like he's gonna whiffle waffle about this, but he's not gonna mention any other place that uses this. He's not gonna talk about China. He's not gonna talk shit about China, is he? Because China has the most of these, right?
I'm not even against these. I'm
I
this is an
understand.
unpopular. Yes, but
But
what do
I'm
you
just
think about
saying,
this one?
if
Okay,
you
go ahead.
are against this, you got to recognize that this guy's a hypocrite.
Okay, but am I crazy, guys? Tell me in the chat, to think that public places, you like demanding privacy in public spaces is too much. And I think like this is good for security to have cameras in public places. I feel like people feel safer, like women, for example, walking at night alone, having these cameras, doesn't that make them feel safer? I think this is, I'm you know, I am all in favor of limited government, but the reason why I want limited government is that so that the government could focus on the main thing that it's supposed to be focusing on, which is our security. I want the government out of so many places so that it could be more present in the one area that is the most important for the government to be, which is our safety and security. So I don't mind. A lot of people who are for limited government don't like government being able to see, what people are doing. But I am for limited government, and I want the government to be able to see everything in public spaces. But maybe that's too much. Is that enough? Yeah.
I think it's about storing your daily pattern and kind of like using it against you in a warrantless way because, like, okay, yes, if the government is good, but if the government is bad, then we have a problem. Especially, let's say you live in a blue city and a blue city starts using this against you and try to claim that you're some kind of like anti, Islamophobic movement that is trying to do evil, and they try to trace your movements to your house, who you met with, and get everybody in your family, start questioning them because they're using this data. So this is a hammer, and a hammer can build and a hammer can hurt, right? So that's kind of like, and people that look at it like, hey, a hammer can hurt, they're kind of like just have that perspective. But I would just want to be clear.
Yeah.
Or Mike Rogers said he opposed warrantless surveillance of U.S. citizens. When asked if he opposed warrantless searches of U.S. citizens, he answered, yes, absolutely. This is public record. There was also no connection between Mike Rogers and the flock camera. So this is just a flat out lie.
Yes, but I also think he's appealing to criminals who want to get away with their crimes without security cameras. He knows his place.
Billion
Yes.
percent.
And yes, and going to your analogy, like if somebody is using a hammer to, like, I don't know, kill somebody, I don't know,
Yeah,
like
or
bash
break their
someone's
car, break
Yeah,
their windows.
but then, yeah, but my point is that's not the problem with the hammer. That's the problem with the person. Like, you have bigger problems than the hammer. That guy is the problem, right? So that's why I'm like I'm not anti-hammer, and that's why I'm like, I think it's too much of an expectation that in public places I think people's privacy should be respected in private places, and people don't have a right to privacy in public spaces. People have a right to privacy in private places, and that's why I think the government should have the right. First of all, we need a good government. Obviously, you're right. If the government is bad, we have bigger problems. But government should be able to watch what's happening in public spaces. It's literally
because
their main
I kind of
job.
know Americans. I knew some of them are going to be like, oh, Armin, you're so blah, 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 blah. I'm like, hey, guys, it's like a hammer. He's just saying the problem isn't the hammer. This is a tool. Like, I'm like Walmart Americaning it. So, so like the chat doesn't go nuts on you. You understand what I'm trying to do?
Yes. And we got 2 super chats. Amy, thank you so much, Amy, for the super chat saying Dearborn police use drones. LOL. Okay. Good. Be all, more cameras better, body cameras, surveillance cameras, drone cameras, just cameras. Like imagine if a city was unsafe and then, they pass a few bills and I come out and I see there's cameras everywhere. Like, I feel like a lot safer. Like, I feel like, I feel my kids will be safer. I will be safer. My family will say, like, oh, this is great.
Yeah. Blame the law, not the tool.
Yes. And thank you, Amy. That's good to know. Dearborn needs that, actually. And then Zipgun with a super chat saying, he would use flood cameras himself. Yes, he would. Yeah, if these people, oh my God, if these people were in charge, you're right, Monkey? Zipgun is
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yes. Yes, they would. Yes, they would. All right. So, guys, one thing. We are going to go get ready for our group discussion here. That is happening in about 2 hours. Monkey, will you be there today?
I believe so.
Okay. So, guys, come join us in our discussion group. I'll be there. The monkey will be there. The link is in the description. The link is in the QR code at the top left corner of your screen. We have daily calls there every single day. And you could come talk to us and people like us there. It's a fun community and a great place to meet people who are interested in talking politics. Hold on, let me see. But if you're not going to come and join our discussion group, then we are going to be live streaming it on Liberty Politics on YouTube. So let me just the link to the discussion group is also in the bio section, but you could check the live section to watch our discussion as we have the discussion. Come to the live. It's going to be this one. Yeah, it's going to be this one. But yeah, so we live stream it on Liberty Politics YouTube channel. But consider joining there. It's a fun place to hang out with like-minded people who want to talk politics, right? So yeah, Monkey, do you have anything to say before we go?
Yes. Thank you very much for being here, guys. Thank you, Armin, for having me. Thank you, chat.
Well,
thank you, everyone on my channels. Also, appreciate you for coming.
Oh yeah, forgot. My guys, Monkey's channel. Please. Monkey's channel is in the description. Go support him. We're trying to get him to 1,000 subscribers. Monkey comes here every day and he contributes a lot. And we love the monkey, and we love his passion, and we love his takes, and we love his insights. They're very interesting and very, eye-opening, and he has a lot of knowledge that many of us don't have. So we appreciate his contribution, and we want to support him. Okay, so please make sure that you check the link in the description. There's a link to his channel over there. Go and subscribe to the monkey. Okay. So guys, we'll see you guys soon, and in about 2 hours, and until then, I'm Israel Chai, Slava Ukrainie, Cuba Libre, Taiwan Jiayo, Long Live America, Javid Shah, Payende, Iran.